Good morning, MS Live. I'm your host, Dulci Hill. Let's see here. Let me do my sharing. Do all the multiple sclerosis frontiers supports MS PAL, living for a cure. More MS frontiers, diet, nutrition, exercise, medical share, personal share, primary progressive, secondary progressive, MS, warriors, Christians with MS, secondary progressive MS. I'm reading all the groups there. I have MS and I'm stronger for it. Multiple sclerosis group MS. It doesn't say there. Uh, you know what? A lot of you add me to these MS groups, and I just talk about sharing. I go through and I share this support group here. Again, I am your host, um, and I'll talk a little bit about the importance of having a group support with MS there. And it's true with everybody, but hi Jane, hi Jane, Jane's here, and I know you guys are here. So if I'm in your group and you don't like it there, hi Becky, just delete me, delete me. Hi Dennis, MSTV. Dennis, it's wonderful to have you here. Now the reason why it's so good to have Chris, to have y'all here is that uh, it was just reported today that people with MS it was MS Society. Hi, Sharia. Hi, Mick. People with MS, we were talking about depression and suicide, are much more likely to commit suicide. And there was an MS navigator who talked about this, and it was a gal who called in uh, to the MS Society. It's almost like a suicide hotline where they could talk to them, and is it? No, it's a bad day because of my hat. Yes, you're. But I'm Patty. Patty's here. Patty, I'm thrilled you're here. Patty, 1 minute. I'll continue this. Patty has been watching the videos and following me for a long time on my personal channel. But this here is not personal, and I insist that you get in, Patty, into this group, and just feel the support and the love that everybody has for each other. Now, all right, now back to the suicide. What they were saying is that this gal emailed or called, and she said, wait, I'm going to say, she disclosed that she felt she'd become a burden to her family and friends. Oh my gosh, you ever feel like that? You ever feel like, or if you've been newly diagnosed, you're thinking, what's the point of life? What is the point of life? She began to cry. This gal who called this navigator began to cry and stated, "I don't want to die, but MS is taking everything from me." And hi Joyce, hi Stephen. So and I don't know whether you have come to the point at any point. Hi Joyce, any point in your life where you sit there and you're like, what's the point? I know a couple weeks ago I said this to my husband. I said, you know, you'd be better off without me. And he just stood there and he says, that's not true. But that kind of thinking is so common. We all get there at and we can be completely healthy. Everybody gets there at some point. Healthy, normal people going to work. My uncle, young guy, beautiful. very popular, just a move, successful. There, uh, he ended up hanging himself, and he had an able body. He had a body, and he wasn't a burden. He wasn't, but he had extenuating. He had a situation that he didn't think he could overcome. Um, but it wasn't MS. Paul, uh, hi, Quam, hi, Debbie. So what I'm saying, what this navigator said is that this gal who thinks that way, every single one of us who thinks that way, uh, has to come. Oh my gosh, we've got a well, hi, Mel. Oh my goodness, we've got a really dense pack. No, well, we don't talk about who we vote for because this isn't political. This here, we come together to support each other with what we struggle with. There, MS will occur after the election, right? And we have people from all over the world who participate in this that don't want to hear about Americans complaining about elections. So we're children of God. We are called to love each other and support each other. Will, don't get people ready to commit suicide. If nothing pushes anybody over, what's the point? What's the point? We're all gonna die, you know. They're gonna break in and they're gonna kill me, and I can't even run fast enough to get away from them. Forget it. Forget. All right. Well, yeah. So what I'm saying is that, hi, Tracy. Forget about politics. We're not talking politics there, because anybody. That's right. James getting. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So, this gal, what the MS Navigator talked to this gal about is getting medicine, getting help. She had to go to the doctor because she apparently had a plan. She had a plan to end her life. She had the means to do it. She had all this stuff. So what they said, what he told her is she needed to be in a support group. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we. All right, fantastic. All right, so what they need to be, what the MS Navigator said is that you need to be in a support group. You need to know that you're not alone. That we all struggle with difficulties. Uh, Everybody, healthy people, but it's classic that people with MS struggle a little more. You know, we so and there's that famous saying that says uh, we can't get outside of ourselves until we come to the end of ourselves. And I'll tell you why. Well, I'm going to talk really about. I was walking down. We've got this conservative 90-year-old man. Uh, just he was writing and just the senators, president, everybody writing for years. He's been doing that. Well, next door to him is somebody who is a Democrat and has signs there. And I walked up to him and I said, "How do you feel about the controversy you guys are having down here?" And he said, "He says, he's he says, we just lost our only child to colon cancer a couple months ago in July." And I said, "So you don't care about this election? You don't care who wins? You don't care about your neighbors?" Oh, Could you imagine? Was his only daughter. I couldn't imagine. So doesn't that, how important is an election when you're sitting there and you're thinking, I can't get off the couch, I can't walk, I can no longer play softball, or my knees giving out, or I have no future. This MS, I've read books, and the odds are I'm not going to do well in the long run. Well, I'm here to tell you that we all have that. We all have that. And Chris is talking about, in fact, Jane, the support group on YouTube is all talking about Chris. Jane says that we all have that, and sometimes it's our medications hi Tracy, hi Minaj. Please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. So sometimes our medication, sometimes we need a medication checkup. There also, Chris talks about having a relationship with a higher power. If you've got to know the purpose of life there, and I have done so much studying on the purpose of life, and reading C.S. Lewis, and reading Aristotle, and reading Nietzsche, and reading the Bible, and studying Hinduism and Buddhism, and the Quran. I've studied so much of it there, so to my liking, because not everybody needs to come to a relationship. That's funny. Yeah, and Tim's in London. He says Jack Daniels is his higher power. Yeah. We got a testimony there. All right, Sharia. All right, Sharia. Her nephew committed suicide, and her brother Danny is still mourning. And I don't think this heartbreak will ever end or ever recover. And I have to tell you that with death that we can't control, with death of our loved ones, there, you don't, uh, you don't you don't get over the pain, but you get used to living with the pain, and it starts to become a part of you. So you get used to it. And in Romans 8:28 in the Bible, it talks about how all things work together, good and bad, even suicide. You know somebody who committed suicide. You're related to somebody, and don't we all, we know someone who committed suicide. We're like, gosh, if I only said this, if I only did that, and yeah, and it's not. Hi, Dara. Hi, Gina. Gina's in the house. But you think that you go down that road, and here's good thing. Who are you? That is self-centeredness. That is our belief that we're God. We believe that we have something to say that can end the misery of another person. Again, what I know, with me going through clinical depression, what goes on between my ears there when I'm sitting there feeling sorry for myself, and I think, gosh, like yesterday I had a dinner party, so I decided it was sunny. I wasn't going to go to the gym, I wasn't going to swim, I wasn't going to work on me. It was going to entertain, go to the grocery store. By the way, if you haven't gone to your local grocery store app online, and done pick up the groceries app, where you go shopping and you pull up and you call them and they come out with your groceries. You need to do that. You need to do that. Susan, oh boy, can't get out of bed in the morning, having trouble falling asleep, especially during the pandemic. And they talked about that. They talked about the pandemic right now. The pandemic is this COVID pandemic, MS, feeling of worthlessness, feeling like we're a burden. These are all symptoms that we just are having a rough time getting over. That kind of it's like straws on the camel's back. But let me tell you a way to cope. All right, this is a tried and true. Instead of tried and true practice, instead of having all the straws on the camel's back, what we all each need to do is get a whole herd of camels. Get a herd of camels. And then, hi Dean, hi Fabia. So each straw put on each camel, right? COVID gets on one camel because camel can't handle all of it, right? But if you put a straw on each camel, it really, hi Seth. So you have let's see, can't get off the couch is one camel. Yeah, I got like today I've got this, right? I've got MS Frontiers, which is a priority because it's beyond me. Doesn't matter how I'm feeling. It doesn't matter if I get my hair fixed up. I have to do this, and I have to do it because uh, we all come together, and you guys help each other more than me. I'm just a forum. I'm a go-between, uh, so that you can work on each other. And sis, God bless you there. And it's I love you know what. The more devout I got in the Gospels and in the Old Testament, I'm going to cry here. The more I can feel your pain. I can feel it. I can feel it. I swear to you. In fact, I pray before every single one of this, let my words be your words. Lord, take my tongue, less of me, more of you there. And Susan, it just, if you have a herd of camels and put each a straw on each camel and deal with one camel at a time. If we look at life, living life, oh my gosh, how are we ever going to get past this pandemic? How are we going to get past the election? How are we going to get past craziness? People not mankind. How are we going to get it? You know what? We're not going to think past that camel. We're going to deal with what is next. Live in the moment. What is next? You know what? And Gina just said, let our heart. She says, let our heart, and that's a prayer. Let our heart be broken for what your heart is broken, Lord. If we humble ourselves, if Jane says, turn off the news. I just, and shame on me when I can't do anything. Like yesterday, can't do anything. I pull out my phone and I play Bubble Shooter. Because it's mind numbing. Instead, I need to put it down. I've got the Bible right there, and it's incredible. So, all right, do what is next. Here is something. So I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't exercise. I was so tired. So today I've got this, And then after this, I've got to go to the dentist there, and I go to the dentist, and so it's gonna be shot. And good thing is that since I had the dinner party last night, I made homemade from scratch spaghetti and meatballs there, and I made a lot of it. So we have, I'm gonna freeze it. We have enough. Hi, Jim. Uh, so we've got enough. You gave me a thumbs up, Jim. I love that. Thank you. Uh, so uh, I've got leftover food, so that's good. Plus, I made chicken curry the other night. I got lots of food there. So I want everybody who's watching this, if you're depressed, there, Susan, especially if you're depressed, come on over. Come on. You know what? Come, Jim. Manujo, if you are close to Maryland and you want to come over for dinner, there, I'd love to host you today because I can't go to the gym today and work on myself. So tomorrow is my sister-in-law's. Thank you. Oh, getting a heart. This is the first time in 21 minutes I've gotten a hearts on Facebook. Love that. So. Yeah. So, all right. So tomorrow is my sister-in-law's birthday. So my mom last time when I was having the dinner party calls me and why are you calling me? I'm having a dinner party. Every 6 weeks I host trivia night dinner party with my friends, with my cerebral friends. They keep me smart. Hi, Bev. So what they did, so she calls up and says, we're going out for Nicole's uh, birthday, just the girls. And I said, that's great, right? So mom called Nicole and says, it's your birthday, you make the reservations. See, I could have done that, but anyway, so Nicole calls me and basically she says, your mom says we got to go out at 12. And I said, Joel, I haven't gone to the gym. And I can't go to the gym Wednesday or Thursday because of all of these responsibilities. All right, you're more important. And she says, how about 11? Why don't we change it to 11? And that works there. So I can go after the gym. So what I'm saying is that yeah, what I'm saying is that just take it 1 minute at a time. Do what's next. There, do what's next. There, you see. Let's see. Um, you know what, Suzanne? Thank God you're not watching the news or the commercials or any of the politics. Just don't only watch things that make you happy. And Jane says, listen to Mongolian throat singing band called The Who, HU. The song is called You, call it my warrior song. Makes me move, makes me smile. What I've been doing is that I don't know whether you have Roku or Amazon Prime or hi Bev or let's see, Fire Stick or anything. If you can download or watch Grimm, Grim. It's a fantasy, right? And it's about this investigator who just happens to be able to see all the monsters in the world, and these monsters are bad guys doing bad things, and his job is to get. There's a lot of good monsters in the world, but there's a couple. His job is to weed out the bad monsters in the world, and it is so much fun to watch because it's not political. It's a little macabre at times, but talk about this it's spending your brain and enjoying that. So I every night I watch Jeopardy. I watch Grimm because Grimm is so much fun. And then on Lifetime, there is ER, emergency ER, and it's been going on since '97. And I love that because, well, I love medicine, I love the body, and I happen to run the MS support group on Facebook. It's called Multiple Sclerosis Frontiers Medical Support. And what I do is I research this stuff. By the way, I'll let you know, MS News Today reported that tests shows that nanostabine works better than the Copaxone. Remember last week I was talking about how in the old days they would compare all these medications to placebo, and you could rank them in the order of effectiveness, right? So what they see, right, in the order of effectiveness, right? But it changed in 2000. You couldn't rank it anymore because these pharmaceutical companies, yeah, Grimmon. So the pharmaceutical companies stopped comparing medication to the placebo. They stopped doing that. What did they start doing? Comparing it with each other. So nanostabine works better than Copaxone. So it's Copaxone is only effective 33%. 33% chances of you, if you're on Copaxone, it's got a 33% chance of keeping you from having an attack. Nanostabine works a little better, right? If you look at Tisabri, that works 78%. 78%. So if you want to look at the effectiveness, go to msfrontiers.org, look at medicine. In fact, look at that front page, the main page. It has a list of the effectiveness compared to the placebo. It's the old-fashioned charts from the MS Society prior to the 2000, and then it's got the new ones that had enough guts to compare it to the placebo. And then they think I have a lot of stuff. There's a lot of medications that I didn't put down there because I haven't figured out how I've got to compare it to the placebo, because they're too busy. If a medication compares itself with another medication, I don't have that on the website there. So there you can see that's my verbal crutch there. All right, let's see. Chris says, just got an emergency. Oh my God, all right. Chris has had an emergency. Her mother is 76 with MS and just fell out of bed because she can't feel her leg. Jesus, please be with Chris's mom. There, help her, help restore her health, help comfort her. In Jesus' name, I give thanks. I ask this. Oh, I'm sorry. It was so whenever I look to the left there, just so you know, I'm reading YouTube. I'm reading the live chat. So I'm reading YouTube. So if you're on Facebook and you want to participate in this live chat, in this group support, go to Dulci Hill and subscribe to my channel, and you'll get an email when I go live. If you're on and you don't want to do YouTube, because I've got my YouTube people, my Facebook people, they're Facebook, just follow me. hit follow me and you'll get notification when I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I go. How about when MS Live goes live? All right. So, again, subscribe to my channel. So when I look to the left there, I'm reading. When I'm looking here, I am looking directly at you at YouTube there. All right. When I'm looking here, I'm looking at Facebook, and then when I'm looking here, I'm reading there. Hi, Jana. Yeah. So I'm reading. So I'm doing reading, and I'm not looking as much there. All right, so I've talked about the suicide that people with MS, especially right now, it just you have a future. You have a future uh, if we are all made for a purpose, and that's why going looking figuring out what your purpose is. There, then it's good to I hate to say it, it's good when we go through these things because uh, hi Tammy, steel sharpens steel. Diamonds only become beautiful and sparkly when they get the pressure. So you think, what am I often say when I fall, when I'm laying down, I've got a cracked rib. I lay there and I think, what am I supposed to be learning? What's a, what? This is senseless, right? You lay there and you think, and then you think, well, you know what? It's not senseless if you can bring your errors, things you can capitalize by sharing it with the support of other people going through stuff. If you don't have MS and you're watching this, then this probably is inspiring. You're thinking, well, I often get told by healthy people, which are largely my friends, they come up and they tell me I inspire them. Why? Because I pack a lunch on my walker and my water and my ear headphones, and I go for a walk because it's a 1 mile walk around the block there because I don't have to make it 1 mile. I have to make it one step at a time. And I've got lots and lots and lots of time to go around the block. So people say, oh my gosh, you have your hip flexor assisted device. So you have a brace on, you're walking around the block, and if you can get exercise, then anybody can. And I think I inspire you. You know, think about the. So if you don't have MS and you're watching this, if we can do it with this disease, because we're lucky, we have a disease that got us to the end of ourselves, and now we have to think outside of ourselves, right? We're lucky. That's crazy. So when you're sitting there and you're contemplating suicide, start thinking, what is my purpose? I'm not going to complain. I'm going to put on my hip flexor assisted device, my hi John, my ankle foot orthotic. I'm going to put on anything that will help me get going. And pack my water, pack my lunch, pack, put the dogs on leashes, and I'm going to go for a walk. And it may take me forever to get around, but that's all right. I'm not going to die on the other side. It's a good thing. So again, if all things work together, right, uh, for good, if every bad thing works together for good, then we have to use this situation Think about a frog in a pot. Now this is what we have to think about there, and this is why we're lucky, right? If there's a pot of boiling water on the stove, and you take a frog and you dump them into that boiling water, that frog's gonna jump out, right? The frog's gonna jump, right? So that's what happens when people have strokes or they have, accidents where they're quadriplegics. All of a sudden, it's like they have cancer. They jump out, and they have to figure out. In a way, it's good because everything's finite, but in a way, this is how we're lucky. Right? We're the frog that's in the pot of cold water on the stove, and it's set to boil, and it slowly boils there. And if we adapt, the MS Society calls it resilience. If we change a little bit, if we lay on the floor and think, how can I use this for good? If we fall and break our rib, if we do that there, then that water can be boiling. We won't even know it's warm. It's hi Stalo. So that's just it. Adapting is sitting on the couch and thinking, oh gosh, I can do bubble shoot, or I can pack my lunch and take my dogs for a walk, or I can, just do what's next. Hi, Matt. Do what's next, Joy. So adapt to your situation, and the big thing I'm telling you that helps everyone adapt, regardless if you have MS or not, because a lot of my friends are watching this who don't have MS. They're when the weight of the world, the politics, and when everything is getting you down, right? That's all these straws on a camel's back, and it crushes the camel. We can't do that, right? We're not strong enough for that. So buy a herd of camel mates, buy a herd of camels, and take each situation and put it on a camel, and only deal with one camel at a time. So you've got your crazy mother-in-law. She's on one. I don't have to. I loved my mother. Anyway, that's. But anyway, you got your crazy mother-in-law. So you've got financial difficulties. You've got medical bills. You have politics. You have your crazy neighbor. You've got all this instead of it. Uh, just crushing you. And then you can't walk. Instead of it crushing you, there, if you have all these camels and you deal with it, it's like you look at everything and my husband Brian, he often says, you should go out and mow the lawn. And I'm thinking, I'm not gonna do that. Let your no be your no, and no is a complete sentence, right? It's like he's telling me, it's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to go for a walk. Yeah, it just so yeah. You should play with your chickens. You play with my chickens. I'm going for a walk, or I'm going to finish the laundry. Again, if I'm dealing with the laundry, which is one camel there, other people throwing other straws at you. It's like it's a choice. It's a choice to take that straw. If somebody starts arguing with you about politics, uh, you're like, I'm sorry, that I'm not dealing with that camel right now. In fact, that is not going to stress me out. So when dealing with depression, they say the best thing you can do is know that other people, there's a support group, there is love, Think outside of you. Believe in a higher power. Think outside of you. You have to know that you have a purpose. Just because you think you're a burden, are you a burden, or do you think you're a burden? So I'm sitting there looking at Brian, my husband. I said, you'd be better off without me. You'd be better off with a wife who could go for hikes and runs and bike rides and stuff with you and lift weights. We were very active when we met. But then again, he's like, boy, is that selfish thinking. When we start thinking we're a burden of others there, we take the control away from them. It's like, do you let me tell you if you're a burden to me? So Gina says, break it down in order to be able to handle things. Yeah, that's right. Break it down, and because if you look at life, oh my gosh, I'm 52 years old. Hopefully, I only have 20 more years. uh, Maybe 30. How in the world am I gonna get through 30 years? 30. You know what? And there's those of you who are sitting there. Remember, I was 16 when I had my first symptoms of MS. And so I had to think about that. If I knew, oh my gosh, if I knew then what I knew now, what would, no, no, it would be really, really bad. But God is so good because He didn't reveal to me uh, that I could do it. I could thrive with this disease. I could thrive, and I could, just help. Uh, exactly. So do you, mates. We all have value. Uh, yeah, Chris, and Chris says she's 53 and she's going for 50 more. God bless you. You haven't had the good. Yeah, go, girl, go. Who wants to live now? Yeah, you know what? When you know who your higher power is, yeah, and mine's Jesus Christ. There, and John, it says, God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. I'll tell you what, that whosoever believes in Him shall have everlasting life. If you read C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity, and you're a thinker, it analyzes. Thank you, Chris. It analyzes everything. Whether not to believe, to believe in a lot of gods, to believe why is one not. I love C.S. Lewis. He just is. He's incredible. Uh, all right, and again, the good thing, the difference on Christianity versus the other uh, religions is that Christianity, uh, we are supposed to forgive and pray for our enemies. It just, and after a while, you do that long enough, and you realize that you have nothing but love for people who don't like you. It's like, you don't like me? That's your problem. I know I'm likable, right? I know it. I know. And if you don't like me, I mean, I've got people who are close to me that tell me I'm not that likable. And I'm thinking, gosh, you just misunderstand me. But that's okay. It's okay because you always consider the source. Just because somebody thinks you're an idiot or whatever, just because they think that doesn't mean that the person's saying, it's like you think I'm an idiot? Oh, what an idiotic statement. And even when you think that, and you don't say that, but even when you think that person's making an idiotic statement, we don't think that person's an idiot. We think that that poor person is misunderstood. I just read a famous poet said, the big question is, what is wrong with the world? The world is going crazy. What is wrong with the world? And the answer, a poet wrote in, it was in London, a poet wrote in, and everybody was talking about society problems, problem with different people, and the one, a poet wrote into the newspaper, said, you know what's wrong with the world? I am. I'm wrong with the world. I am the problem. Oh my gosh. When you think about it, you think, if I forgive, uh, oh, okay. I just, somebody should be working, and I just saw somebody pulling the driveway. Anyway, so if we blame ourselves first for not being the first to forgive, not being the first to just love, when we're sitting, and how is it love when we're looking at the world and thinking, gosh, I'm a burden, or we spend too much time thinking about ourselves, and we're not thinking about being kind, because gosh, the world needs kindness, right? And the world needs forgiveness. um, some of the issues that I see, right? And Gina says, Gina is Canadian. She lives in Canada, and she says the world pushes God's out God, and now we have what we have. It's true. Uh, it's in the Bible. You reap what you sow. And so much you watch on the news where you see angry people in the magazines and every angry people facing off. It's like this person is facing that person and they're name calling, right? Wouldn't it be amazing if one person says, I for all right, you are mistaken about me. But you know what? That's okay. Consider the sword. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's we had riots all over. I live near Baltimore, and I've got friends who are police officers, and they were down there face to face, and people were spitting. People were spitting at the cops, and the cops were told they weren't allowed to do anything, and they're spitting in their faces, and it just but I'm wondering if the just why are people who say they're Christians spitting at other people, blaming other people? Why can't we look at ourselves and say, the problem with the world is me, is me. It's I'm thinking too much about myself. Uh, um, Now, with clinical depression, and I talked about clinical depression, it just doesn't matter if it's that will work. All right, let me continue my train of thought there. Uh, in situation depression, it will work when you start thinking about what positive can I impact the world? How can I love on the world? That is really good. But if you're in clinical depression, you're sitting there on the couch and you think, I just don't feel good. Just, I sleep all the time. And Suzanne, if you're still there, if you sleep all the time and you don't feel like eating, and all you do is cry, and you just, that could be clinical depression. So what you may want to do, well, what you definitely want to do is call your a neurologist and call your general practitioner. Also, there is a special psychiatrist that specializes in multiple sclerosis, because a lot of us have clinical depression. Uh, a lot, but more of us have situational depression. And situational depression, I'd say all of my friends who are watching me on Facebook there who don't have MS, you know, you're no different than somebody who has MS, because you've lived long enough to be effective with. Some of you've lost children, parents, jobs, houses, financial ruin, just you know, and you know what? It's hard to think that it's a blessing. It's like, what? And when people come up and they say, "Ah, yeah, I'm sorry, you have MS," it's like, what are you sorry that I brown eyes, or what are you sorry? Don't be sorry that I have MS. I just don't be sorry. That's just something I have. It doesn't make me. I'm not an MS warrior. And Jana lives like that. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't have MS or NF. You've got to be that way. Here's another thing. When people say, how are you doing? Our answer needs not to answer them. Our answer needs to be incredible. I'm incredible. And because you're not lying. Incredible means, what does it mean? Does it mean that you're incredibly good or incredibly bad? It takes that answer off the table so you can turn and say, how are you? How are you? And when they turn around, hi, Tim, when they turn around, they say, you inspire me. Well, you know what? You inspire me. Yeah, I go to the gym because those poor people, they need help. Only the young muscle butts are lifting weights and are having fun. But I've got so many friends of different ages there. Oh, Jane, you know what? All right, that's an opportunity, right? What are you learning from that? Jane is struggling right now because she is, you know what? Jane, you made that public, so I'm going to make it public here. Jane has MS there, and she's in this MS chat on YouTube there, and she is peeing her pants. That's you know what? So I'll have to ask you this question there. Are you going to sit in your urine pants and finish this with us, or are you going to go and change? We'll find out. How important is it? How important is it there? Uh, it's fun. It's fun. Uh, you know what? And Gina just got done saying that MS has brought out the best in me. It stripped away her pride and brought out the raw and the real. And I gotta tell you that. I have to tell you that uh, when you're first diagnosed with MS, everything is an emergency. But the longer you have MS there, it's as Gina just put it. It's I'm telling you, there are. If you look at my YouTube page, there's over 3,000 people that are now subscribed to this, and I get a lot of people who follow me, and I got to tell you, I get emails and I get so much information from you guys. I get phone calls because I don't hide my phone number. If you need to talk, if you need I'm here for you. But it is so amazing that everybody who's had MS, you guys don't call me, it's people who've just been diagnosed, every single one who's had MS for 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 longer than 20, longer than 10, I'd say longer than 20 years. It seems to be 20 years that has said it's made them better. Uh, uh, yeah. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Jane. So Jane is not peeing her pants right now. She was reacting. She was reacting. All right, she was reacting. She was saying that I should say that I'm incredible, but I'm peeing my pants right now. No, 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 no. That's because Vesicare is not working for me, and the bladder medication's not working for me. But I got to tell you that should I call my doctor? Yeah, I should call my doctor. Should probably call, but it's not that important right now. It's not an emergency. Uh, you know what, Jenna? And Jenna's talking about how long have you had MS, Jenna? Uh, Jenna's talking about when she was diagnosed with MS. She said, "Oh well, life goes on." I was like that when I was officially diagnosed in '93 with MS. What did I do? I played second base on Air Force softball team. I was an Air Force wife. There, what did I do? I skied. I loved to dance, and I thought the same thing. Thank you, May. Thanks for the time check. So I thought about that, and I thought, oh well, until about a year and a half later, my knee started giving out, and it became real to me. Uh, so it just, yeah, it became real. So I started thinking about that, and I thought, well, you know what? Again, you got to live with it for a while. And you think, oh well, until all of a sudden you can't, your body's not working. It becomes real. Once it becomes real, and you're disabled, and you have to learn how to, like when I stopped being able to use the elliptical trainer or go for 5 mile walk, I learned how to swim. That's called resilience. If you can't play in the field everybody else is playing, you take your choice and you learn to do something else. And we each have the ability to do something. The most important thing we have to do, believe it or not, with MS is lift weights. We have to do muscle memory. Gina says she, yeah, good days and bad days. Yeah, you know what they call that is visibles and invisibles. There are visibles, invisibles park in the handicap spot where the lines are on the left there. They park there, and it's 150 degrees there, and they say I have MS there. That's why they park there, and you need a spot that you can open the door real wide there, because visibles have to. All right, thank you. Our visibles need the spot, and so combine the invisible symptoms with the visible symptoms there, and but when it gets to be visible, that's when we're most challenged to rise above it. Anyway, Mace, bless your heart, just said it's the top of the hour. There, I'm looking there, the clock. See the clock? Oh, you can't see on YouTube, but or on Facebook, but YouTube you can. there, but I can see the clock there. So what I want to tell you is we'll meet again next Tuesday. May the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. If you've been accepted, if you know what, the gift of salvation is free, and it's not going after God. There, it's just allowing God to make your life easier, right? So I will invite you to say the prayer. Say, Jesus, if you're real, make yourself real to me. I know I'm a sinner, and I know that I am the problem with the world today. But I know you're the Savior there, so please forgive me of my sins. Please be my Savior. Just live in me, live for me, and help me to follow you. In Jesus' name, I pray. Again, go to msfrontiers.org. Follow me, subscribe, and keep coming back. I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. And again, love you all. And I'm ending.